All right, Chris Cavey, welcome out to
Timothy
Holliswood Studios.
It's nice.
It's your first time out in Fairview?
No. When I was in the Marine Corps, my brother moved out here.
Oh, really?
He moved to Fairview, lived in some shithole apartments.
Oh, the which ones? The Roundtree might be Park Village. I can't say that any of them are not shithole apartments because they're kind of bad out here.
Yeah. He, I want to say it was close to the interstate. It was off that exit with the Denny's. I was trying to look for it, but that was...
Yeah, I don't know.
14 years ago.
So it's funny because when I texted you and asked you to come on here, you were like, what do you want me to come on here for? And the story behind that is Joseph texted me. He's like, you know who'd be good on the podcast? I was like, who? He's like, Chris Cavey. I was like, you're right. He would be good on it. I said, just for the beard factor alone would be a good addition to the podcast.
Yeah.
Because your beard game is strong for sure.
Strong.
Mine's not as strong, but my sister-in-law gave me a bunch of shit about it just being raggedy. But it's like,
Fuck 'em.
what else are you supposed to do, you know? So, yeah, I mean, a little history on me and you. I guess we met. How long have you been working at LSI?
10 years this year.
So 10 years this year, and I think I hired you out there, didn't I?
You did.
I hired you out there, and man, it was back then. It was a breath of fresh air to have somebody come in that's got some sense. You know, it's sometimes it's hard to get good quality people. Most of the time, people just don't care about what they're doing, and it's not any good. And then now you were working in Nashville. Now you're out in Clarksville.
Yeah.
So you've been raising your family out there.
Yeah. My daughter was born at St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Midtown. In 2 weeks before her first birthday, we moved out to Clarksville.
You like it out there?
It's all right. It's a shithole military town.
Yeah.
So it's getting big, though. It's kind of whitewashing the population a little bit.
Yeah. Eli lives out there at Fort Campbell, and he came from Fort Polk. And so he was happy to be in Clarksville after being at Fort Polk.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, there's like not really anything out there.
That's what I've heard. There's nothing around Fort Polk.
So your military days, you were in the Marines?
Yes, sir.
All right. How did all that go?
I fucking loved it.
Did you?
I had a blast. I loved it.
What'd you get out of it for?
They said, thank you, but no thank you.
Really?
And I was like, oh, man.
I had no idea.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah.
So I tried to re-enlist like, I don't know, 6 different times.
Yeah.
And just kept coming back. I extended twice, and they denied both of them.
So how long were you in there for?
5 years.
5 years. And what was the time frame of that?
I joined August 2009, got out August 2014.
Really? So you were in the midst of like all the war and stuff going on.
It was the second wave of Marine Corps guys to Afghanistan.
So you went out there and everything. Mm-hmm. You have a problem talking about all that?
Absolutely not. I love talking about it.
Sometimes people don't want to talk about it. I just want to be respectful.
Yeah, no. Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you.
No, I mean, just tell me about your experience on it. Like, I guess you have a camaraderie with all the guys out there, and
some of them. I still talk to a group of guys that I went over to Afghanistan with the second time. I talk to them fairly regularly. One of my senior Marines, I talk to him quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
I've seen him quite a bit throughout the years since he got out and I got out.
So tell me about what it's like. So you join the Marines, you go through boot camp, you do all that stuff. How long was it before you had to go to Afghanistan?
I was in the fleet for like 7 months.
Yeah.
So I did boot camp, which was 13 weeks, I think it is. Went to infantry school, which was like 13 weeks as well. Hit the fleet in like February of 2010, and September 2010 got on a plane and shipped out to Afghanistan.
So whenever they called you up, were you like, oh shit, I gotta go, or were you like, hell yeah?
I knew exactly what I was signing up for.
Eli's the same way. I always think of, when I think of Eli, for some reason, I always think of you. And it's like, Eli's like, yeah, I'm ready. He's ready to go do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I signed up for. I was a little older when I went in. You know, I didn't come in out of high school. I was turned, 22 in boot camp. Turned 23 in Afghanistan. So I was a little older than everybody I went in with, and I knew what was going on. I knew exactly what I was signing up for, and
that's what's nice about people like you and Eli, that, you know, you got to have people. You don't want people to be dragged into that kicking and screaming, and there's people like you that are like, hell yeah, let's go. And I think that's an awesome thing that you guys go in there and want to do it. So tell me what it's like. So you get on the plane to go over there. It's like, did you have a specific mission, or?
We did. So the group before us took over from the Brits in Helmand Province. We came in to relieve them. Our task was hearts and minds the first time I went. So moved into a village right outside the district center in Helmand Province, and we just assist the locals in any way that we can assist them, patrolling the villages every day, multiple times a day, interacting with them, find out what they need, how can we help, and do that amongst find the bad guys and get rid of them.
Did you find any bad guys and get rid of them?
Found quite a bit of bad guys.
And you got rid of them?
Got rid of them.
That's crazy, man. It's just crazy to think all that stuff goes on. We're just so spoiled over here by just oblivious to it.
Totally oblivious.
You know, I've been around a lot of places in the world, you know, doing some mission trips and things like that. And the United States is the exception. You know, most places don't, nearly all places don't live like this.
No. I've been to several countries over the years, and nobody's got it like we got it.
Yeah.
And then we find a reason to bitch about something.
Yeah, we do find a reason to bitch about something. I mean, there's always something. That's why, you know, sometimes you just got to sit back and be like, man, am I really upset about, you know, my pool is dirty today?
Right.
It's like people have it so much worse than this.
Somebody cut my grass and they left a little bit of grass or a mark on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I got to get on Facebook and cry. I got to call whoever. And
do you guys have that? Do you have that kind of Facebook page out there? Like just your like Clarksville community?
There's a Clarksville. There's several Clarksville chats.
You've heard me talk about the ones here where the, you know, people get on there and it's exactly that. Like, you know, just whatever little thing or, you know, just one little complaint. They do that same kind of stuff on there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And then, of course, there's like the neighborhood Facebook page. My neighborhood that I'm living in now, they have one.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid shit, you know.
Are you usually the cause of some of the things that people are complaining about?
I have not made it on the list yet. So
I have. I've been on the list a few times out here because of my dog, but whatever. I don't care.
I kind of settled in somewhat to family life and being a civilian. I've been out for like 11 years. It's been 14 since the first time I went there.
Yeah.
So, had my old neighborhood had one, I'd have been on it for sure.
You're a little bit of a hellion back then.
Adjusting is hard, and you don't have nothing to do. You don't have any outlet. So I used to chop a lot of wood at 2 o'clock in the morning.
They don't like that. People don't like it when you do that.
My neighbors were cool though. They said it didn't bother them. They never heard it, never cared. But those houses they're separated a little bit more. We're kind of right on top of each other at this new spot.
When you come back from doing something like that, being in war and all that, you said it's pretty hard to get back in the swing of normal life.
Coming back, even in the Marine Corps, was difficult. The most difficult thing was getting out.
Yeah.
That's that really fucked with me hard.
Really?
Still does, but I don't know.
Well, explain what you mean by that. Do you mean like getting out as far as like, you're used to being in the situation that you're in where you're constantly looking over your back, and is it that kind of thing, or just?
It's deeper. I mean, there's some of that, right? Like, you don't kick doors in and shoot people and not deal with some of that.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of it is, I signed up because it was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go fight for Lady Liberty, and never saw myself coming back. So I had no like follow-on plans.
Yeah.
And made it back the first time. I was like, all right, what the fuck do I do now? So drink away all my deployment money and go back.
Yeah.
Go back, come back the second time. Like, all right, well, I made it back this time. Bullshitted around.
Did you have expectations that like you would end up like dying or something out there?
Yeah, no, I was ready to go. Like, I didn't figure that I would come back. I ran point, so I was the first man in the stick. I was a sweeper, so I cleared the path for us to patrol so nobody got blown up. And then, my first one, I carried a Thor a lot. It's this fucking backpack with a radio that sticks up. I'm already 6'1", and now it's got a radio or an antenna. It blocks radio signals so they can't push a button and blow you up.
Wow.
Supposed to. Convinced it caused a lot of cancer too. Everybody I know, a couple people I know have like white spots or bald spots in their heads right where the antenna was.
Wow.
One of them had brain cancer twice. And they're like, oh no, these things are safe. I'm like, no, the fuck they're not. But
Yeah,
the antenna's on the right hand side, and like, I'm so tall going indoors, I can't go with it up. Pull it down. Most of my grays are all on the right side from where it was.
So I mean, with that doing that particular job, like if
The casualty rate was
you would be the first to go.
Yeah, so they targeted. I was the first man in the door. Casualty rate's fairly high, and then they were targeting the guy sweeping for bombs, because if they can get rid of that guy, more likely chance that somebody else gets one. And they went for guys with antennas, guys with radios, guys carry that stupid ass Thor. If you get rid of that, they can't call for help.
Yeah.
And now you can't jam the signal because he's down.
You're just exposed.
Yeah. So it was the chances of me not coming back the first time were really high.
So that's what you mean when you're saying it's hard to come back, because you just thought you were going to die out there.
Yeah, I was ready to go.
And so you come back and you're just like, well, you don't know what you're going to do with your life.
Yeah, I was like, well, that was unexpected, but all right. So, and then like I said, I went the second time.
How long was it between the first time and second time?
About 7 months.
Okay.
So I got back like July or some shit of 2011, and I went like January 2012.
How long were you on that round?
Like 7 months each time.
Oh, so 7.
They changed they did some research and analytics on casualties and when they happen, like when they're higher, and they pegged down like after 7 months, the casualty rate skyrocketed. People get complacent, so they're like, fuck it, bring them home, send somebody else back.
And rotate them out.
Keep them alert, and it helped for casualty numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
But so they bumped ours down, so we were doing 7 month rotations. And like I said, I was only in the States for like 7 months before I went back the second time.
So you said you came home, just drank your money away, just waiting to go back.
Went back, yeah. And the mission the second time was much, much different.
Different as in worse or better situation?
I mean, I wanted to go to war, so it was better for me.
Yeah.
But depends on how you look at it. So the mission the second time was we were to disrupt the enemy operations, targeted high value targets, IED make facilities, and kill as many bad guys as we could.
Yeah.
So we go over there, get some intel, prep a mission, get on a helo, fly in, get dropped off in the middle of the night, sun comes up, kick all the doors in, hold it for 3-4 days, shoot as many bad guys as we could, get picked up, come back, prep for the next one.
It's crazy to hear all that because a lot of guys that are over there. Well, I know it's a different time because we were actively at war in that region, but it's a lot of times when people get deployed right now, they're not really doing anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to say they're not doing anything, but they're not actively.
They're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything
More often than not.
And then to hear you're like kicking down doors and killing bad guys and doing all that. I mean, that's just shit that you see in the movies.
Right. And I've had conversations with plenty of people that were in, especially the time frame I was in, infantry guys across branches, not just the Marine Corps, but the Army as well. Most of their deployments were all like my first one. We're doing hearts and minds. We're clearing a village, hold the village. How can we help out and deal with some bad guys here and there occasionally? And then what I got to do the second time is I found all this out. I found a lot of stuff out. I don't know, like a year and a half ago. Apparently, it was tasked for Ranger Battalion, not Marine Corps Infantry. Somehow we snagged it, so we were going to places nobody had ever been. Full of bad guys.
Wow.
So, and the kind of operations we did, regular infantry guys they don't get to do that. Like that's the shit you see in movies. Like fuck yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I was lucky and I got to go and I got to do it. Experiences may vary, and right time, right place, a right unit.
Would you say that the other guys that are there with you are like-minded like you, or want to get in it, or you got like a guy that's like, oh, I don't want to do this?
The group I was with, they're all killers.
Stone cold killers.
All of them. I was in, so my squad the second time, every single one of them.
Yeah.
They send me on as many missions as you can. Let's go shoot as many bad guys as we can. We'll go kick as many doors in as we can. Like, send us. Let's go.
I just can't imagine. It's like you wake up in the morning. All right, what are we going to do today? We're going to go kill a bunch of bad guys. And that's what your job.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
That's what your job is.
And I loved it. Loved it. It was a fucking blast.
So when you come back from that one, where obviously it was a lot more intense, was it harder to get back in here? You get back into normal life, knowing that like, hey, if I get mad at something, I can't just go shoot somebody.
To some extent, but I still had another 2.5 years in the Marine Corps after that. But the guys coming in, a lot of them were shitty, weren't doing nothing. Our next mission after that was we'd go to Japan and train. Go to Japan and hang out, chill on the beach, drink some beers.
Yeah.
And dealing with those guys that were going there doing that was different.
What do you mean different?
There was the urgency of, you got to get this down. We got to get this ready and situated and squared away, because when we go, like, your fucking buddy's not coming back if you don't know your shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of keeping each other in check because of that.
Right. The training was way less intense going into Japan than it was the other time. Much longer training. We had a 1.5 year workup.
What kind of training were you doing in Japan?
I ran a couple ranges with some Japanese cats, some of their army. My company got put on LF Karat. I don't even know what the fuck that means anymore. I forgot. We got on ship. We floated around Southeast Asia. We went to Thailand. There for like 9 or 10 days. Trained with some recon guys out there from Thailand. Did jungle warfare, beach landings, stuff like that. Went to Malaysia. Was in Malaysia for 18 days. Did the same thing. Went to the Philippines. We're supposed to do the same thing, but the unit got deployed in like southern Philippines to go fight some terrorists. So we sat in port, sat on the boat, did some classes with like one dude from a schoolhouse from the Filipino Army or Marines or whatever he was, and then go out on Libo and party it up. So
Party it up.
I mean, yeah, it was way different. That's not what I signed up to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's adjustment because you're dealing with different people. The mindset of all those guys, yeah, they still wanted to serve their country. They still wanted to, be the Marine Corps, which notably is the most difficult, the hardest. So yeah, they still wanted to do all that, but they just didn't have that killer in them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys that even made those other deployments didn't have it. So the group of guys I was with the second time was special.
Yeah.
I mean, even within my platoon, other squads in the platoon didn't have it.
Did you say you still talk to some of those guys?
Yeah. So I was in 1st Battalion, 8th Marines, Alpha Company, 3rd Platoon, 2nd Squad. So we were America 3-2 was our call sign. All the guys that are still alive, I'm in contact with.
Did people die out there, like when you were out there doing all that?
It'd have been easier if they did. So they all died back here.
Oh, really?
So
wow.
Yeah, all the ones that are still kicking, I still talk to. Got a group chat with all of them. Some of those guys went to Japan with me. I talk to them more than I do the other group. We're in a different chat with them, and it's more active. I see them more. The other ones, with a lot of people, it gets hard to try to get together.
Yeah.
Everybody's always got an excuse or a reason that they can't do something.
Did you did you know your wife now when you were in all that, or did you meet her when you got out?
I met her. So I went to Japan. They denied my extension.
Why did they deny your extension?
Because they said my unit we'd met our quota for E4 0311s. So 0311's a rifleman, E4 was my rank. So I was a corporal when I got out. You're supposed to have 38, and we had 38. I made 39. I was getting out. So they said, nope, send it back. We extended again while I was over there, and they said, no, I told you to send him home.
I mean, it seems to me like if you got somebody like you that's willing, or you're a stone cold killer ready to go do something, they'd want to have you around.
My thoughts.
That's kind of crazy.
Of course, Marine Corps saw it differently.
Yeah.
So
you met her, you said you met her when you were in Japan?
No. So I got sent back with 2 weeks left in the Marine Corps. I got back like July 25th of 2014, got out August 9th. So straight from deployment back home, get the fuck out. I met her in that short time frame when I got back.
Y'all been together ever since, haven't you?
We have, yeah.
And now y'all got like 200 kids or something.
Feels like it.
How many kids you got?
4.
I remember, because I don't talk to you as much since you went out to Clarksville, but every time I turned around, like I would hear somebody say, "Oh yeah, Chris just had a baby." I'm like, "That son of a bitch just had a baby." You have them back to back.
They're all 2 years apart, 2.5 years apart.
That'll be fun for them when they all get a little bit older.
If they could get along, yeah.
I don't know if it would be good for you. Your wife's name's Carrie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be good for you and Carrie, them stirring a bunch of shit up, running around the house. How old are they now?
Sarah, my daughter, is 7. She'll be 8 next month. Mm-hmm. Charles, my oldest son, is 5. He'll be 6 in August. Laxton, the middle son, is 3. He'll be 4 in February. And then Calvin, the baby, he's born in July.
I was gonna say almost a year. So that's crazy, man. How are you guys dealing with all that?
Keep it afloat, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I have three, but they're all pretty spaced out.
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years apart. Well, no, probably not that much, but they've got a good distance between them. Me and my brothers were 3 years apart.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I bet.
They always at each other's throats over whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what the kids do.
They're loud.
They're
loud.
You got to have a spot to go and have some quiet.
Yeah, we bought a bigger house, but apparently it's not big enough.
I always think
should have went bigger.
The whole time, like when my kids are growing up, we lived in like the first house we had. We were in like a 800 square foot old farmhouse. I remember me and my dad and my older brother lived there after my parents had gotten divorced, and we had to build the bathroom onto it. And so my dad ended up moving out to my grandmother's house because she bought a new house, and so me and Nikki stayed in that house, and that's where we had our family. And then a lot of Nikki's family members moved in with us. There's like 10 people crammed in this 800 square foot house, and I think I just ended up going crazy because I didn't realize how important it was for me to have a space of my own. Mm-hmm. And so then we move into another house when you got 3 growing boys. I think we had like maybe 1,100 square feet, which felt like a ton more than what we had, but still it wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. And now we have this place, and 2 of my kids are gone and on their own, and Jack maybe sooner than later. He turns 18 here in a week or so, and it's like, we don't even need all this space. I think I stay in like, a 400 square foot areas, and then I come out here to the Holliswood studios out here, but it's like, I don't even need it now. It's like I didn't have it back then when I needed it.
Right.
And now I don't need it now. Make more money than I did back then,
Yeah.
It's just crazy how all that works.
Right, yeah. Now we went from like 1,500 to 26.
Yeah.
From 3 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms. My mom lives with us.
I bet that's a huge help. I was going to ask you how you.
It is, yeah. It definitely helps out a lot.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
But so we were all in the other house, and had Calvin. And it was like, we got to do something. So we got another house. And like, oh, it's nice and big. When you walk around, nothing's in there.
But then you get all your shit in there.
This is going to fit. This is going to be nice. We're going to have so much room. And we filled that bitch up immediately.
I know.
Immediately.
It's always like that.
Golly. I wish I would have been looking at it a little differently while we were looking. Because it was like, some of the spaces are like, oh, yeah, we got the square footage. It's nice, but it's not like.
It's not really.
Super usable.
I was going to say, it's not usable space.
And it's like, all right, if this was a little bit different here, or just like, I thought this was going to be big enough, and I was like, fuck, we need a bigger house.
Already.
Right.
How long have you lived in this one?
Shit. We closed on it.
It's fairly recently.
2 days after Calvin was born.
So it's not even been a year.
Got out of the hospital, the next day it closed, and then started moving.
Yeah.
And I had like 15 days to get out of my other house because we're renting the other house. I still own it, but we're renting it out, and so we had like 15 days to get out so it could get listed, and we had to get it painted and cleaned and all that other shit to get it ready. So 3-day-old baby moving all our shit.
Yeah. Eli moved off the base a few weeks ago, and I was going to volunteer to come out there and help them, but it's like as soon as I blinked my eyes, I guess he moved everything real quick,
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess there's plenty of people out there to help him with that. But yeah, it's you got a big family. There's a lot to do there.
2 big-ass dogs on top of it.
What kind of dogs you got?
One's a lab Great Dane pit mix, and the other's a Great Pyrenees.
Put the 2 dogs with 4 kids, and then your mom, and then your wife, and you.
Yeah,
it's it becomes like the smaller amount of space that you
Yeah.
like you had.
You're like, fuck yeah, this is good. Look, this is such a big house. And like, got her shit in there and got everybody separated and like, shit.
Well, the only advice I can give on all that is like you don't like it while it's happening because you're like, I need more space. And now when I look back at all of it, as my kids are older now, I'm like, it wasn't so bad. You know, it's like at least you're close quarters. I guess I had these delusions that I was going to get a big house and I'd have a lot of money and we'd have plenty of space and we'd have all the things, but we never had it.
You got it now.
I don't know about that.
The kids are gone.
I know. It's like I have a certain degree of that, a little bit better than what I had back then, but now the kids are gone. Hayden's in New York. I mean, I only see him a few times a year, but enjoy it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'd try. It'd be nice, right? The space would be nice.
Yeah, but
because it does get.
You strike me as the type of fella that likes to have his alone time.
I would like it. Yeah.
I think that most guys are probably like that. Actually, most people are like that.
And that was chopping the wood was my outlet. It gets too loud. There's too much going on. I'm not having a good day for whatever reason.
Chopping that wood.
I'm gonna go split some wood. Go out into the back, cut some wood.
You still do that?
Nope, because I don't have a fireplace at the new house.
You could just sell it.
I just don't have the setup, so I haven't found the outlet space, I guess. The garage is, every time we turn around, like, get the garage cleared. I'm like, all right, we're going to start doing something with this. Right back full of shit.
Yeah.
Every time we turn around.
You go look at my garage right now. It's just a place to put shit, pile it up.
Right.
Need to do some spring cleaning on it for sure.
It's the catch-all. But we're having a garage sale, so hopefully it empties out here soon. But
so what are you doing for fun these days? For funsies?
I don't do a whole lot of stuff for fun. I like to golf. Golf's fun.
You know, I was talking to Mike about that the other day. I don't know shit about golf.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that one last night.
I feel kind of bad. It seems like it's what you're supposed to do. Like when you get older, is play golf, and I don't know anything about it.
Well, I picked it up in the Marine Corps. So one of my roommates, he played, and he kind of got me into it. We instead of sitting in our room and drink all day, we go to the golf course and drink all day.
I was going to say, you go to the golf course and drink all day instead.
Yeah. So I picked it up while I was in.
How often do you play?
Man, I haven't played at all this year.
Really? Well, it's still pretty early.
I haven't played since, I don't know, last fall maybe.
Yeah.
So my kids are kind of into it, which is good. I started taking them when they were young.
I was going to say, is it something that enough of an interest of yours that you would want to teach the kids how to do that?
Yeah, because we get to go out, spend some time together. I get to do what I like to do and have some fun doing it. And I'm doing it, so they're like, I want to do it.
Yeah. Do you do any like baseball or football or soccer or anything like that?
No, we don't do no organized sports at this point. That shit's expensive.
It's expensive, and it's very, very, very time consuming. And the fact that you got 4 kids that are all around the same age, your oldest one, you said 7.
Yeah.
And so when he gets to about 10 or 11, then all that shit comes, and all your time will be on that.
Yeah. So let's teach them how to play golf. Let's go play golf. And they swing the club fairly good, and they enjoy doing it. They have fun. They'll hit it off the tee box, depending on how backed up the course is. Maybe hit 1 or 2 out of the fairway, and then let them put on the green. So
yeah, I've seen you as like a Happy Gilmore type of fella. You're out there just slamming them.
I try to rip them, but I'm not good.
I was going to ask you, would you consider yourself good?
No, hell no. I can pull some. I can hit some good shots, but I like perfect drive, and then fuck up all the other shots, or like dink and dunk down, take 4 or 5 shots to get to the green, and I one putt it.
Yeah,
like okay, so I saved double bogey, awesome, or like on the green in 2, like okay, here we go, 3 putt. That's the story of my life.
Yeah.
So
Mike, he would be modest about it, but I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you'd have to be if you live on a golf course.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, because he I don't think he's been a lot lately, but I remember he used to go out there a lot and play. But yeah, I've never been into golf. There's people in my family that are into it. I think Joseph likes it. I never been. I went that one time to that Temple Hills course, and I learned there that there's people that drive around and bring you beer. I had no idea.
You go to the good courses, yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, man, maybe I need to get into this. I was thinking, you pack your cooler and do all that.
I mean, you're not supposed to. I do it.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you gotta have your bag,
right? Yeah.
This is my man purse full of beer.
I've belligerently, like a cooler,
just
set it in the front.
You're not supposed to take your own cooler.
Some places they're like uptight about it. Yeah.
They want you to buy their beer.
Yeah, you got to sneak it in. Like nobody's looking.
Is the beer on the golf course like if you go to like a Titans game or something where it's like $10 a pop?
Depends on where you go. I don't have that money, and I'm not good enough to play those places. So
yeah,
they're like if you went to a bar, not a Nashville bar, like a normal bar, or maybe like a restaurant. If you went to a restaurant, you're getting a beer, $4 to $6 for a beer. Depending on where you go.
I guess that's not too bad.
It's about like that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll get into golf sometime. I just need to. I needed a hobby. I think I said this before that all I do is sit around and watch TV, And I was like, I can do a podcast.
Yeah,
I can get people to come over here. I mean, just talk shit.
Bullshit. Yeah, absolutely.
People come in and it's usually feels awkward for a minute, but then it's like, just don't picture we're recording it. Let's just hang out and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Some of the best conversations that I've had is like, I hit stop on it and I'm like, all right, take the headphones off. And then it's like the best conversation. Like, we should have done that. We should have done that 5 minutes ago. It's like, you just sit here and talk shit. That's fine with me.
Or like you did with Mike, all into it, having a good talk. And you're like, fuck, I didn't hit record.
I didn't hit record, man. We came out of the gate because Mike came here that first time. It was the first time for me and the first time for him because he was on the first episode. And it was kind of strange, but we got through it and it was fine. And then, so we came back when we recorded that one. We're like, hell yeah, we're ready to go. And right out of the gate, did all the things. And then I looked down and I'm like, Mike, I forgot to hit the record button. I was like, that was such a rookie mistake, man. And we had a good 10 minutes. And then, I fucked that up pretty bad.
It was number 8.
Yeah.
You should have fucked that one up the first time.
I know. I had it all set. I guess I got too comfortable with it. And then I've had several people on since, but my intention for this is not to be like an interviewee type of thing. It's just to, talk about shit, whatever's going on. But
get interesting people, talk about interesting stories.
Get interesting. I mean, you can't get much more interesting than Chris Cavey here.
I got some good stories.
Well, let's hear it.
I got some good stories.
What you got? Give me a good story.
Which one you want to hear? I mean, I got war stories for days. I fucking loved it. Love that.
Well, tell me about it. Give me a war story that you like.
So everybody knows about like PTSD, right?
Yeah.
And there are triggers that cause you to have memories or whatever the fuck, flashbacks, whatever you want to call it. So like an odd one for me is Rooster by Alice in Chains.
Oh, okay.
Every time I hear it, I go straight back to, we're on some op. Intel ain't never fucking right. We get to this building, and they fucking wall everything. There's 15-foot walls around everything out there. So there's a house, instead of a fence, it's a fucking 15-foot wall with a house in the middle of it.
Do they do that because for like protection of the area that they're in, or they're just building them?
Fuck if I know. I have never gotten the explanation. But them bitches they're stout. That's for sure. They're like 18 inches thick. It's stupid. There's supposed to be a building in there, so we got to kick the door in, go clear the building. and then move on to the next one. We're clearing the village. I kick the door in, sun's like cresting right above the wall, and it's a fucking wheat field.
Wow.
No compound, grass, green grass, like it is out back. It was like chest high. It was misty, all coming in. I guess they had watered it overnight. It was all misty. I like kick the door in and take 2 steps in. It was just like Alice in Chains Rooster starts playing in my head, and I was all right. And so now every time I hear it, I go straight back to like kicking the door in, and just this majestic field of grass surrounded by a wall.
I thought you were going to say something like, because that song's pretty intense. Like you think that, like, I thought you were going to say kick the door open or the wall down or whatever, and all these people were ambushing us or something.
No, not that time, man. It was, and I don't know why. I guess like when I walked through the door and I was like, I guess this is the Alice in Chains moment here. I don't know. It just started playing.
So when you hear that song now, do you
go back
immediately?
Almost every time. I don't have to get to any of the words at the intro.
Yeah.
Kicking the door in and walking through. So, I mean, triggers are wild.
Well, it's crazy because me and Joseph were talking about that, how like a song or a smell or something like triggers that memory. I guess it's like 1,000,000 times more for somebody that's seen war and dealt with all that.
I think it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's just like, oh, hey, cool. Other times it's like lights are off. It's like all I see and hear and smell is that.
Yeah, bad triggers.
I mean, sometimes I'll be driving down the road and Rooster comes on. I catch it at the beginning, and it's like, well, traffic is gone. Autopilot.
Yeah.
And just reliving the whole thing. Can't see anything, hear anything that's going on around me. It's wild.
What do you think that the purpose was of that field that you saw? I mean, was it just...
Not a clue. They were growing wheat. They were supposed to be growing poppy, so maybe it was because they were growing something they shouldn't have been.
So you just didn't know what was even going to be behind that?
It was supposed to be a building. It was supposed to be a courtyard, which led to a compound that we were supposed to go clear out, and then there was supposed to be another entry point on the backside to lead us into the next set of buildings. And there wasn't. That was the only entrance was that. It was a field of fucking wheat and no other exit, so we ended up having to climb up on some shit and like climb over this 15-foot wall to like get into the courtyard adjacent to it and start clearing through the rest of our sector.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what the purpose of it was. Like I said, intel was obviously not right. It was supposed to be a building. We were supposed to clear it.
You think that there would be the intel would be a little bit better?
Intel was almost always wrong. We like get a map, and we got fucking satellites.
I was going to say this. Not even like this was that long ago.
We got
this was
planes flying over, helicopters over, like daily. How was our picture so outdated all the fucking time? We'd get dropped off. You prep, like, this is the route we're going to take because we got, 130 buildings we got to clear, before 3 p.m. So we can get set up in Stronghold and get ready for the next, wave or the next objective of whatever the fuck we're supposed to do. And so, there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and you get there and the village that you're at looks nothing like the fucking map.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, fucking wing it, I guess. Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
You just plan, get there, and nope. Fucking, I guess we're going right, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Was there an experience that you had there where you were like, it shook you to your core where you're like, I almost died just then?
Shit, I almost died so many fucking times.
Really?
I was never scared. I was ready to go anyway.
Yeah.
I was never scared. I think the most nervous I'd ever been, we had cleared our shit for the day, and we were in a building. I was up on the corner, 600 meters away. There's another building. Asshole starts shooting at us. So we're playing two-way rifle range back across, and we start getting shot at by an AGS-17. It's a Russian-made fully automatic grenade launcher.
Wow.
And so there were two guys. One guy's shooting, the other guy's he's obviously spotting. And the shooter knew what he was doing. Because there's techniques to shooting indirect fire weapons. One of them is bracketing. So you get your distance, you get your degrees you're supposed to be shooting at. You let it rip. You have somebody watching, and they tell you, well, if you're left, right, short, long, depending on the weapon system, depends on your adjustments. But you could hear it, do 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 do, and you could hear, and it was just boom 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 boom,
all close to you,
off into the distance, and you were like, okay, and you hear another one, do 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 do, and then now they're behind you, do, 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 do. And it just rips it again. Now he's closer. Rips it again. Now he's closer. Before I ended up shooting the guy, the last burst was right down the wall that I was at the top of.
Wow.
I had 4 or 5 rounds, do, straight down it. Inevitably killed the spotter. Now he has no idea where he's shooting at.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy.
So.
It's crazy.
But I was at the corner at the top of the wall. There was a compound, there was a building, and situated in the corner. I was up on the roof of that, sitting, watching my sectors. You can't abandon your post. Mm-hmm. That's not a thing. That doesn't happen. So I'm up on post with nowhere to go. Obviously can't shoot the guy shooting at me. And you're just sitting up there, and you're watching them. I watched them closer.
Were you like, shit, this next one could be me?
I was like, this is getting a little sketchy over here. And I was shooting at the guy.
Were you able to see him?
So one of them he was shooting through a murder hole. They punch a hole in those walls, shoot through it. One of them was shooting through that. The other one was spotting, and he was set up in a position on the ground, offset from as I'm looking at it to the right. Like I said, he was about 600 meters away. And I ultimately dropped a 40 millimeter grenade on top of him.
You got him.
Wiped him out. So
as a civilian, never imagine being in a situation like that. I'll hear like a gunshot or something go off if somebody's hunting or something like that. But in my mind, I immediately disregard it because I'm just like, oh, that's something that's happening over there. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I could ever I guess they train you guys to do that, but like know that like, hey, they are shooting at me.
Yeah, you can tell. When they're close, it's like a bullwhip. Everybody, you heard a lot of people say that. That's legitimately what it sounds like, a bullwhip.
Yeah.
Snapping over your head or off to your side.
Do you guys have protection? I guess you would have protection for like when you're sleeping or something. That shit could happen any time. They're just popping them off like that.
We slept on the ground in the courtyards or in the buildings that we took over. So we at the end of it all, we're done maneuvering for the time. We break down, you start rest plans, and you set up posts, and you got 2 or 3 guys watch a guy on the door, maybe 2 guys up top watching for people to come in, while the other guys are sleeping in some fucking mud hut or just on the ground in the courtyard, wherever you can sleep, whenever you can sleep.
It's just like shit out of a movie for sure.
Yeah,
it's not like what I hear all the time where you're at like a base or something. And
I was not. I would get dropped off into, like I said, and dropped off in some village, and left there for several days. We had platoon. The smallest ops we did were platoon size, with like 32 people. Go clear a whole village. The biggest one we did We did a joint operation with tanks one time. Our whole company was there. For that, it was like 180 people or some shit. 180 Marines get dropped off. That was a shit ton of birds. I don't even know how many sticks there were. I don't remember. And then tanks came in and provided support while we were clearing out everything. So
Yeah.
that op, funnily, I was sitting on the roof, staring out into fucking nothing. It was 3,000 meters of just nothing. Mm-hmm. And here comes a tank. Hits a fucking IED right in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
And like, everybody's like, oh shit, what was that? I was like, oh, that tank just got blown up. So
wow.
And then 10 minutes later, you see him like walking, the tankers like walking around the tank. All I did was blow the track off.
Yeah.
And
what was it like with, and and you tell me if this is inaccurate, but with my dealings of people around the world and different cultures and things like that, of course this is different because this is war, but you learn that people are not their governments. You know, the people, whether we, like China, for example, you know, me and Nikki used to take kids in for a week while they were over here for a program, and we'd have these kids and their chaperones, then adults, mm-hmm. and they love Americans and love America. And, you know, we got a lot of problems with governments and things like that. So you learn that, like, people generally just want to be with people. They want to love each other, and there's not this animosity. Now, obviously, there's, especially when you're talking about terrorism and this deep-rooted stuff, like, when you're out there, you say the village, you mean like the villages where actual civilians out there are living? Did they like you guys? And was it like a situation where you're like, I need to be careful with these people being nice to me because maybe they're trying to kill me?
The first one, that's how it was. Most of them, they just want to be left alone. They don't want us there fucking with them. They don't want the Taliban or whoever, whatever you want to call them at this point. You know what I mean? Whoever the fuck they are. They don't want them there fucking with them. They just want to live their life.
You're talking about the civilians don't want the Taliban or these terrorist organizations around them. Were they happy that you guys were there in the midst of all that?
Some of them, but I mean, most of them could give a fuck less. They wanted to go grow their wheat, grow their corn, tend to their sheep, live their simple life.
Yeah,
that's what the fuck they wanted to do. And you know, obviously, the Taliban, Mujahideen, or ISIS, whoever the fuck they are at this point in time, because they change their name every 2 years. Whoever the fuck, they don't want them there because they just want to leave, live their life. They come in like, you're gonna do this shit, and this is how we want it done. And
so they come in and they like take over these villages.
Yeah, you're not gonna grow wheat now. You're gonna grow poppy because we're gonna make a bunch of opium.
Yeah,
we're gonna grow opium and fucking make heroin and distribute it. So Helmand Province, when I was there, supplied like 70% of the world's black tar heroin.
Wow.
Helmand Province was responsible for 90% of Afghanistan's heroin.
It sounds to me like it's more about that than it is like, religious beliefs and all this kind of stuff.
Down at that level, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what they did to the civilians. And I mean, you roll up into the village and you say, hey, you guys are going to do this. And somebody's like, no, I don't think so. All right. They go round the whole village up. They drag you in the middle. They chop your fucking head off. So who else isn't going to grow poppy?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, fuck it. I'll do it.
Yeah. I think we're going to grow poppy now.
I think we're good. So, but I mean, some of them were grateful. Like, hey, because us being there kept the Taliban from coming in and doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, it kept them at bay.
The hearts and minds game it's a tricky game. There's a lot of non-believers, but I've seen it work. We did it right. I've seen it work. I mean, we had to walk to the edge of our area of operations to find anybody to fight before I left the first time.
Really?
We pushed them all out. They wouldn't come in. The village was operated. Schools were opened back up. They were doing elections. I mean, everything that should happen in small town USA was happening. Kids were out. We built the playgrounds. They were out playing at the playgrounds.
But the problem with all that is the second that you leave, is there any guarantee that they're protected?
Right. So the unit that came in after us was obviously not as good as we were at doing it. The governor got killed as soon as we left.
Wow.
They went and snagged him up. Police officials, Army officials got killed as soon as we left. And that unit, before their time there was up, they couldn't leave the wire without getting shot at. Whereas I had to walk 3 clicks all the way to the edge of our AO, stand on a fucking hilltop, and wait for them to come out and see us. And we just play 2-way rifle range from 800 meters.
I mean, how do you tell the difference in all these, like, who's a bad guy and who's not a bad guy? I guess if they're shooting at you, then that's a bad guy.
That's about it.
Is that really the only way that you can tell?
That's about it.
Because everybody's dressed the same and just looks like a civilian. It's not like they're wearing, military outfit or anything like that.
Everybody, all the guys wear their little man dress with their fucking turban, whether they're fighting or they're farming.
Yeah. So everybody just looks the same in that aspect.
Sounds the same, talks the same. The bad guys obviously come up to you and and try to be friends, and
that's what I was going to ask you. So you're talking to these people,
some of them,
and do you know at the time that they're bad guys, or you're just like, hey, that's that motherfucker that was just talking to me, being nice, and he's over there shooting at me?
That one,
really?
That one. Yeah, you'll talk to him, and then next thing you know, he's out shooting at you. They're scouting what you're doing. They're watching you. They're gathering intel.
Yeah.
So they can set up an ambush, or they know where to put a bomb, or whatever the fuck.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, by the time we left, the civilians are coming up and say, hey, look, they're going to try to ambush you guys tomorrow out here at this spot.
Oh, so they would, the civilians there would tell you, help you out with that kind of stuff?
They would say, hey, they put a bomb in over here last night. Can you guys come take care of it? Yeah, sure. We'll come take care of it. Go out there and find it, get EOD, come out and blow it up, take care of it.
What do you do when you find a bomb like that? Just take it and, won't it blow up? Is it on like a timer or something?
They use a lot of pressure plates.
Yeah.
So you have to activate it. You have to step on it. But find it and then set security around it, keep everybody away from it so nobody else steps on it, call the EOD, they come out, put some C4 on it, blow the motherfucker up.
Were you pretty guarded out there as far as like guarding, not physically guarded, but guarded with, obviously it's not like you're making friends out there, but were you, social with the civilians, or was there like, oh, I know this guy over here and you talk to him?
No. So that's the hearts and minds game. That's what it was. You go out on patrol. Obviously route clearance was a big thing the first time I was there, because we were there every day, all day. Civilians were there every day, all day. So we clear routes, make sure there's no bombs anywhere. Talk to the civilians. We would set up security halts and then just like stop anybody and everybody that walked by and talk to them. How you guys doing today? Just shoot the shit with them. Find out what they need. Find out how we can help them, and then do it. And if done correctly, it works. Like I said, anytime one of the bad guys walked in, we knew about it because they would come. They would tell us they're coming in. They put a bomb over here. They did this. They did that.
Are we out in that area that you were at now? Haven't we pulled everybody?
Yeah. I don't remember which administration it was. Whatever. They fucking dropped the ball. They fucking just.
Well, the Biden administration, because they left all that shit over there,
a whole bunch of
all
shit.
The equipment and everything, and pulled everyone out.
So like while I was still in, they started breaking down fobs, turning over area, and then only operating out of some of the larger facilities. They weren't even patrolling anymore.
Yeah.
They would just stand post and guard and stuff. And
it's sad. It would be sad if I'm you, it'd be sad for me to think like, hey, I'd spent, 7 months or whatever over here protecting this, and killing off the bad guys to think that it's just gone to shit.
I have a lot of friends that are no longer here.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Oh, yeah.
For what? I mean, they just threw it away.
Yeah.
I get it. I get we were at war for a long time, but there was a resolution. But everybody got tired of it. They didn't want to play that game. It's a long game to play.
Mm-hmm.
Got tired of it. They didn't want to do it no more. I guess all the money was dried up, or what money we could make off of it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so they pull out, and they didn't even pull out right. They just fucking left everything. So now the next time somebody goes over there, because that's going to fucking happen again.
Yeah, all the brand new equipment that we have, over billions and billions of dollars of shit that we just left. We should have brought it all back, but we just left it all there.
Right.
And they're going to be killing our soldiers with all of the shit that we left over there. It's just awful.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing how all that stuff works. And the thing about it is like, people like you join for love of country and doing all that stuff you want to protect. And I think that all that is part of protecting our homeland here, and the things that we're doing around the world is not for nothing. But to think that we would do something like that, where we just leave all the shit over there, and it's like, I don't know, man. I just can't. It's hard to wrap my mind around it. I don't know what it's like for you to be like, man, I put in this much time of my life to this stuff, and to see the suits over here just calling the shots on everything.
Lost a lot of friends, and
you lost a lot of friends over there as well as back here with suicide and everything else.
The numbers aren't even close.
Yeah,
it's astronomical how many more people I've lost here than we did over there.
You're talking about with suicide and stuff like that.
A lot of them are suicide.
Yeah.
One or two get murdered, a couple car accidents.
Do you think that that's directly because of just, re-entry, coming back in and getting back into normal life? I mean, I guess this is a bad example, but like if somebody's in prison for like 20 years, and then it's like, how do you transition from what you did in there to come back out here?
Right.
I guess it's the same type of situation.
It is. And I mean, it's similar, right? Different, but similar.
Yeah.
Like, reassimilation is not easy. They don't fucking help us out. That
was literally my next question. Did they help you, acclimate or whatever back into society?
No, not really. I mean, there's some steps and taps, I think is what it was called when I went in. Some classes you're supposed to go to before you get out. It's checking the box. Hey, we sent them here and we tried to help them. How do you really try to help somebody reassimilate?
Yeah.
Especially like from that and military life to going to unemployed as a civilian. I mean, how do you help them transition?
Well, that's a problem.
Surely anything they could do could be better than what the fuck they did.
That's what pisses me off more than anything. And again, I feel like I don't deserve an opinion on any of this stuff, because I have not been in your shoes and seen the things that you've seen or other people like you have seen. But it makes me mad when you see that we support, illegal immigration and all these people get all these things. Meanwhile, you got a soldier that's, a veteran that's, living on the side of the road in a tent. Mm-hmm. It's like, that shit pisses me off more than anything.
Yeah.
It's like, we could spend all that money that we spend on illegal immigration or whatever else to make these people's lives comfortable, but we don't. And there's organizations that do. So I don't want to misspeak and say that just all veterans are, homeless.
Yeah, but there's programs out there, but you got to know who they are.
Yeah,
you got to find them. That type of information wasn't made readily available to me when I got out. It was even the guys that got out with me. I mean, there was no like, hey guys, like these organizations will reach out and help you. Oh, you got to go to the VA. Use the VA, and that's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Well, it's like I don't ever want to hear any excuse about we don't have the money to do this or the money to do that. You said you listened to me and Mike were talking about the Doge thing, where there's just billions and billions of dollars is just dumped into a bunch of dumb shit when we could be doing something useful with, you know, helping veterans and,
Right.
and doing things like that.
Right. And they're like, oh, well, you guys have access to these home loans that nobody else has access to. Yeah, but there's also stipulations, and
Yeah.
I got to jump through fucking hoops to get them. You know.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I used the VA loan was a fucking nightmare. I could have been living in Nashville and made a fuck ton of money when I first got out because I could have afforded Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh, no, this ain't right. Oh, no, that ain't right. Oh, no, this ain't right. Yeah, but what was fucking right when I was shooting people
Yeah.
for you guys over there, right? What was fucking right about any of the shit that, you know?
It makes me mad because I know that there's fraud that happens with any type of situation. I mean, my grandfather's a good example of this type of thing. We have him at a assisted living facility. He's been paying long-term care for 50 years.
God damn.
Out of his paychecks and out of his pension and all that. To this day, I filed a claim to get them to, all right, he's been paying for 50 years. I need you to help out and pay whatever this portion is that you've agreed to. Denied the claim. He's 94 years old.
Yeah.
He's not in bad enough health. Well, his next fucking step is death.
Right.
You know, and it's
Right.
like, so that's the kind of stuff that makes me mad. It's like you're having to jump through hoops and do all that kind of stuff to go buy a house and to get this loan where they're, you know, probably trying to sell it to these kids that are joining the military or whatever. Like, oh, you'll have all these different things, and then it's just hard to reach. They just make it without reach.
And they're like, oh, well, you got the VA, you got benefits, you know, depending on what rating you get, if you get one or whatever. You got, you know, free health care for forever. Yeah, I got free health care, but you told me in 2015 when I got, or 2014 when I got out and I started going to appointments that I probably need shoulder replacement surgery. My knees are fucked up, my hips are fucked up. I need replacements, but you know, you're going to need replacements when you're 50 anyway.
Yeah.
So we're going to wait till I'm 50 to fuck with it because we don't want to fuck with it now. Because I'm 27 and I'm young and I'll heal a lot better. That makes sense. Let's fucking drag it out until he's old and decrepit. And
No, man, they need to be putting.
It's fucked up.
They need to be putting you back together. Any person that's gone through the stuff that you've been through. That's what I forgot about that. That's one of the things I remember about you when I first met you. That you had a lot of problems with your hips. You still got a lot of problems with all that.
Oh yeah.
You've never had anything worked on.
I've done injections, which I think I did the injections when I was still down there. I don't know if you were still account manager or something else at that point in time, but I had to miss like 3 days of work. They'd give me an injection. I couldn't fucking get up and move. It hurt.
Oh, really?
It like did not do what it was supposed to do. And then I had what?
What was it? Like a steroid of some sort?
I don't remember. They put it right in my joint, in my hip joint, and it sucked. And I'd missed a bunch of work, and they're like, "All right, we can do these every 2 weeks." Yeah.
No, you can't.
I'm poor as shit. I'm struggling. I can't miss 3 days of work every 2 weeks. Like that doesn't fucking work.
Did it give you some relief after the few days? Not enough to continue to do it?
No. I've been to chiropractors. I've been on almost every opiate that, you know, because they wanted to do that. You jump down the opiate cycle. I was like, I have long-term pain. Opiates don't fix that.
Yeah.
You know, that's, if I break my leg, give me some fucking oxys or hydros or whatever the fuck, you know? But they want to, like, give me that for long-term pain. Like, yeah, so this one doesn't work anymore. Then I got to go to the next one. Then I got to go to the next one. Then I got to go to the next one. And then you're strung out.
I know. I was going to say that anytime I've ever had any kind of painkillers for anything, it's like, you know, it works for about a week. And then after a week, all it's doing is like, you're better off taking like an Excedrin migraine for pain because all you're doing is getting high at that point off of painkillers.
Yeah.
And it's like,
then you need it. Then you need more.
I've never been like, if I have painkillers, I'll take them and I'll enjoy it, you know, while I have it, but I've never been addicted. But that's a slippery slope to go down for a lot of people because they get addicted to that shit.
It is. And I'm a drinker. Most people would probably say I drink too much, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like while I was in the Marine Corps, I mean, I definitely had a drinking problem. And so I have an addictive personality. That's
exactly.
Cool. It is what it is, whatever. No complaints here. But now you're just going to start me on like some of the most addicting things
Yeah.
in the world? Nah. So luckily I had enough sense to say, like, I'm not fucking with that. I'm not doing that.
Well, that's the thing is they want to give people like a temporary fix because it's cheaper to just give you some painkillers and do all that. But I mean, as people have learned, especially in the past 10 years, that like all that does is ruin your life. It's not fixing the problem. It's just covering the problem. You know, at the core, your hips are still fucked up and your shoulder and everything else for the work that you did for the country.
Yeah.
If you need surgery, they need to do it.
Yeah. Well, you're cheaper if you die. So.
Yeah, it's just a shame, man. I really hate that because, you know, just hearing the little bit that I've heard today of the things it used to do, it's like you're that guy in the movie, man. You and your team were the guys in the movies that, you know, even it's real though. It's not like the shit that you see is Hollywood. It's like you're in the midst of it.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, like I said.
You said it was fun.
I fucking loved it. Like, I got a meme on my Facebook from, I don't know, 15 years ago. And I mean, it, like, part of it still holds true to this day. It's like, I'll never be as good at anything as I was killing people.
Yeah.
It was, like, I was made for it. It was fucking fun. I had a blast. I was really good.
That's the thing, man. You got to have people like that. It's like I said when we first started here is you know, I don't want some sissy going into the military that's, you know, that's not cut out for it. And there was a period here where we were just getting people in, doing all that. I want someone like you or my son that's going to go in there and they want to be there. You know, after 9/11, people wanted to sign up and they wanted to fight for the country and they wanted to do that. That's the people that you want in there. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that we have people that are they think they're going to go and hang out at a base or something.
Well, don't pick the Marine Corps infantry. I'll tell you that. And I was in with guys that did. Had no fucking clue what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah.
They get shot at the first time. They're like, oh, I fucked up. Like,
they get shot at the first time.
You didn't know that before you waited till this moment to realize I fucked up. Like,
bullets are going to be whizzing by your head, man.
Yeah. Like, did you not listen to anything that they tried to tell us before we fucking came here?
Well, that's part of the training, isn't it?
We knew what was happening. Yeah, especially my second time. We were told exactly what the fuck we were going to do. We're going to get dropped off. We're going to kick doors in. We're going to shoot people. That's what we're doing. This is what everybody signs up to do. This is what everybody wants to do when they join the infantry. And we lucked out, and we pulled it, and it was our mission in our sector that we got. I mean, like, you couldn't beg for anything better if you're an infantryman, you know. And some of them guys that were there with me, I mean, they weren't in my squad. They were in our company, in my platoon. They weren't ready. They weren't cut out for it.
That's kind of dangerous, though, man, because they're supposed to. You're supposed to have their back, and they're supposed to have your back. And if you got somebody that's questionable,
luckily I didn't operate alongside, like directly alongside with them. Like, we were on same missions together.
Yeah.
But my squad was tasked with this sector, this zone to go. We all had our own individual missions per se, while on said operation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I knew it. I made sure my guys were ready. My junior guys, if they weren't ready, they weren't fucking going with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I got rid of plenty before that second tour because I didn't want them to go with me. I knew they weren't going to be worth a fuck. Try to train them, ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see you later, bitch. I'm getting you the fuck out of here.
See you later, bitch.
It's because either that, or you're gonna go over there and you're gonna get one of my friends killed.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not having it. So, which is why I was a team leader my second time. So I'm supposed to, I'm the team leader. I'm supposed to manage my team, guide my team, move my team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to be the door kicker. I'm not supposed to be sweeping. But if anybody was taking that, I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you're the leader.
I know I can do it. I know I'm good at it. Let's fucking run this, and I'll manage everybody and still direct my team and lead my team. But it's like, if you're not the best then you're not fucking going. Mm-hmm. You know, I trusted me with those lives, so I took it. So I did it.
Yeah.
And I trusted those other guys to watch me and have my back while I'm doing whatever the fuck it was I was doing. Mm-hmm. So
I was going to ask you, of course, I already know the answer to this, but do you have any regrets about any of it?
No.
I mean, hell, you'd go back now.
I'd go in earlier.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. I mean, you're definitely a soldier, man.
I'd go back now. If there was something worth fucking fighting for, a cause that I believed in, where I knew I was going to protect my wife and kids and people back, absolutely I'd go do it.
Yeah. So
I never went and contracted, though, because I couldn't get behind just fighting for the highest bidder.
Yeah.
That didn't sit right. I don't mind shooting somebody. You know, I mean, at this point, the first one's out the way. At this point, it's just another number. You know. So it'll make a shit to me. It would have been great money, but something just didn't sit right. I'm not fighting for America, Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fighting for somebody.
That's
some
awesome.
Other company. So, but if there was something that popped off that was worth a fuck, that I felt was the right thing, I 1,000% would go do it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, we got to have people like that. You don't want people that are just there just to, try to get
the wrong line of work for that.
Yeah,
go to the Air Force, be admin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like join the Navy and ride a fucking ship.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming out here to Holliswood Studios. Definitely want to have you back and
absolutely
talk about some war stories. But like I said, I want to have people on here that have a story, have something to tell, someone that I can respect, someone that I can. I mean, I don't know how many people listen to this, and I'm not shit in the big scheme of things, but I do appreciate, because I know it took you an hour and a half to get here.
Yeah. To
just come out here and talk about it, and a lot of people have a hard time talking about the stuff, and I just appreciate you coming out here to talk to me about it.
I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you thinking of me in that light of being worth talking to about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up here, and I might take your ass out here and throw you in the pool or something.
Whatever. Fuck it.
All right, Chris.
I'm a good swimmer.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.